Good morning. I just sent out the 2025 digital motherboard planner, and so I wanted to show you how to use it on an iPad, like how to use iPad to plan. Of course, you are always welcome to just print out the PDF. I've seen people print it out and just like 3-hole punch it and put it in a binder, which I think is really smart and a lot more cost effective. You could send it to like an office supply store and have them bind it into what they call a presentation. I've done that before. Actually, that's how I made my very first ever motherboard planner for myself. I had 3 kids under 4. We had just moved across the country, so we were alone. I kind of felt like I had been masking and just like surviving through my ADHD up until that point, and I kind of feel like it all just came to a head. My oldest, wait, no, he wasn't 4, he was 5 because he started kindergarten. Couldn't really cope anymore. I think the thing that sent me over the edge is that in kindergarten he had one responsibility, and that was to bring home this like take home folder with his work from the day, and then the parents like sign it and then send it back to school. There was just this one day, for the life of me, I could not find his take home folder, and he was so upset, very much like a rule follower, and he was so upset, and in turn I just felt so awful, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need a way to work with my brain. I need to like acknowledge what's going on. I need to make myself a tool that will help me get my shit together. I did a bunch of research of like what I needed, and I sat and just thought really deeply about like what my brain needed to support me taking care of all of the responsibilities that like come with motherhood and really just adulthood in general. So anyway, that's how the motherboard was born. She has evolved over the years. That was like, oh my god, I cannot do math. It was not 6 years ago, it was 4 years ago. You know, just like as I used her and like as I started sharing her with friends, you use something, you realize like parts that you don't use, parts that you need that were missing. And so I am really proud of this 2025 version. She feels like my friend who's like there for me and like grown with me, and, like showed up for me in the ways that I needed her. And if I'm really thinking about it, and if I want to be really like sentimental about it, it's really like the ways that I've shown up for myself. Yeah, clearly I'm in my luteal phase right now. I'm like about to cry. Okay, so let's get into it. Open Notes Plus. I already have it in here, but when you first come into Notes Plus, you'll import, and you can get that from your files or from your Google Drive. So once you have the planner in your notes, you can open it up. See this button up here? This is the pen tool. This is one that you'll be toggling on and off. When you want to use the buttons, you want to make sure it's off. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? I have a reference sheet that tells you about all the shortcuts. These are located at the bottom of most of the pages, which can navigate you back towards the beginning of the planner. We've got the little grocery cart, which takes you to your weekly grocery list. You can jump back and forth between your list and your weekly view, just like in the normal notebook planner. Jump to your cycle syncing reference sheet. Shortcut to your ideal routines and systems. A shortcut to your monthly goals and your habit tracker, which is just like the monthly check-in. Shortcut to your year at a glance. On the sides here, all of these tabs are also hyperlinked. If you want to use the hyperlinks, I'm in read only. So if I wanted to go to February, click on February, this little icon pops up, click on the icon, and it jumps me straight to the monthly view. On the monthly view, you can also jump straight to the week you want to be at, to the week of the 17th. Just click on 17, and then it jumps to the 17th. Yay, but I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself, so I'm going to go back to the beginning. See this little home button? This will always bring me back to the table of contents, which is at the beginning. So year at a glance, jump there. That shows us all of our dates. We've got our cycle syncing reference sheet. We clicked on it. Kind of like gives you a quick reference for the different phases of your cycle, what you can expect your energy to be like, and then also like how to best support yourself through your nutrition and your activity. Then we've got our big picture planning pages, and these are the ones that I personally printed them out and handwritten them because I have a lot of connection to like my handwriting. These are about picturing your big picture goals for 2025. Here we have a vision board, and it's just like a dotted grid paper. And what's really cool about doing it on the iPad is you can just pull your images directly from Pinterest, and I'll show you how to do that. So you see these 3 dots at the top. Press these 3 dots, and you want to go into a split screen. So this one with the split down the middle. click that. And then over here, you want to pull up your browser. You cannot use the Pinterest app. Make sure you have your browser. You're on Pinterest.com. You have Pinterest on this side. You have your vision board on this side. You can do anything like travel aesthetic or like exercise aesthetic. I find that if you put the word aesthetic after the search, it usually filters out the ads. You have to have the pen tool toggled on for it to work. Okay, so drag it over. So let's say we want to toggle that off. We want to zoom out. I'm going to toggle the pen tool back on if I want to edit. See this little lasso? We're going to lasso what we want to edit. And if we click on it, we can crop it. If I just want the word, or like if I want to make it smaller, I can make it bigger, smaller, whatever, and I can put it wherever I want. The lasso tool is really helpful. Like that's how I can move things around. Once we have an idea of like what we want the year to look like, then we can think about shifting our focus from just like outcome-based goals to more identity-based goals. It's less about what you want to accomplish and more about like who you want to become, what kind of legacy you want to leave. I think about that a lot. I think about Grandma Carrie and like what she would be proud of, what she would be thankful for that I'm doing in my 30s. So I've broken it down into 4 different categories as far as like what type of person I want to be. And this is just kind of like scripting. So I'm going to use this tool right here. It's a pencil that has a little A on it to add text. So I just click where I want to go and then my little keyboard pops up. I want to be consistent. So if I want to move it around, if I want to change the font, right here I'm using Chalk Duster because I think it looks the most like handwriting and I like that. Again, you could handwrite that, you could print this page out and handwrite it, but it's just showing you how you can do it. The next step is to write a letter from future you. So at the top, it's dated December 31st, 2025. So you're writing a letter to yourself now in January from end of December you of this year. Talk about all that you've accomplished, all the things that you experienced. This is called mental rehearsal. So you're forging the neural pathways that make you feel like you've already done these things. You know, subconsciously makes your brain feel like it's possible. Then we have our habit audit, taking a look at the habits and systems that you already have in place, asking yourself if they are serving you. So I wouldn't say that habits are either good or bad. I'd say they're positive, negative, or neutral. Are they pointing you on the path towards that person that you want to become, or are they maybe detracting from that? So now that you have stock of what's already happening, then you can make a better plan, I guess, for how you want your life and your home to feel. This is one that I love to handwrite and keep on my fridge. What I also have on here, which I think is really fun, monthly chores. You can use the squiggly line. Fun, that's a squiggly line. Or there's a dotted line. Then we also have our seasonal bucket list for your family or for you. You could also make little vision boards or you could also like actually handwrite. Cool. That's all of our big picture planning, which brings me to the monthly view, which is kind of just like an overview, like a zoom out to look at important dates. And then you've also got your January check-in. And this is one that I'm really proud of and really excited to use. First, we're going to reflect on last month, make some goals for January and any notes that you have, and then put in the habits that you want to focus on. Incredibly satisfying. As the days go on, you can mark how many days in a row or what days, I guess, you actually did that task. Bed by 9, and then maybe you skipped a day. That kind of gives you a picture at the end of the month of how you did, and I guess a realistic picture of how you did. If I click on the highlighter again, I can change the color. Okay, so that's the January check-in, and that is what we can always access from this little thing right here every month. So now we're on our weekly view. And this is like the exact same layout as the notebook motherboard planner. So you can go through and circle like where you are on your cycle. You can also circle what the weather's gonna be. You can type in your workouts, you can type in your chores. We have the vertical days for time blocking. You can plan your meals for the week. Here we go. And our extra to do at the bottom. So as you're planning your meals, say I wanna, I wrote eggs and toast. Then I can jump to my grocery list and I can then put eggs and toast on my grocery list, and then I can jump back to the week. See? Yay! Every month has like the zoom out view, and every month has its own tracker. Something else that I put in here is I put a mid-year check-in called your integrity audit. I put it in July, so you're halfway through the year. Where do you feel like you stand? Like, what are the core values that you want to be driving your life? And then also, like, how do you feel like you're living with integrity? That's just like a little reflection. That's halfway through the year. And then we have some extra note-taking pages. So for party planning, gift planning, and just your brain dump note-taking. So, yay! That's it. That's it, my loves. So hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully you're excited to start your planning for 2025, because I know I am. I'll be sharing more of like what I'm doing to plan for myself in the following videos. So follow along, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at Motherboard Press, and I'll see you soon. See you real soon. Okay. Bye.